All right, good evening, colleagues, and welcome. Welcome to today's uh, seminar. Yeah, I think we need to start now. We have given 5 minutes for people to join. So this is the sixth edition, and this will be the last edition where we'll be having presentation of the fundamentals, theoretical aspect of research collaboration. And I believe that the collaborative research groups are meeting and making progress. So today you have time to also move on, and then we will be announcing what comes up after this month, what we are planning for the seventh edition and going forward. So welcome from wherever you are joining. I will be presenting today on the fruits of research collaboration. And I think this is quite obvious, as some of you might have been observing. Hopefully you are very conscious about what is happening in your group, the fruits of research collaboration. For every action, there is always a consequence. There's always a consequence. There is a reaction. All right. So we'll talk about those today. Yeah. And I would just like to remind you, this year we have been focusing on collaboration, from collaboration to impact. That is our theme. Other programs we also having this year, we have the Prof. Warren's academic career talks, which is providing a platform for us to discuss things we need to take note of as we make progress in our career, how to build our careers, how to nurture our careers, how to make more impact on our careers. All right. Okay. The complaint that my voice is slow. Hope it's from my end. So if you have not been joining these programs, I encourage you to please take notes and make yourself available. I think these are important opportunities to enhance our perspectives and our skills. The career talks usually follow the career audits, which is a place we also meet to consult, to ask questions, to discuss sometimes challenges, and of course our joys. The career talks come the last Friday of every other month. So we're having the next one in July. And then the career audit comes the first Friday following the career workshop. Okay, so we also have courses we have outlined this year. Some are ongoing, some applications are open. They are courses applying to enhance our skills So I encourage you to take advantage of those opportunities as well. Yes. So this is the 5th year of ASFI's existence. And we want to have a timeout for this. Okay. Yeah, it has been quite a persistent journey during the last 5 years. And so this year we have decided to find time to rejoice together, to reflect on what the journey has been, and then have some perspectives in going forward with this movement. So please register. The links have been circulating. Perhaps quite a lot of things circulating on our platforms, but I hope that you be able to pick up the link and register to join us. So please do your best to reserve the date and time we have planned for this so that you can join us. 14th July, 14th July, 2 p.m. 14th July, 2 p.m. GMT. Okay. Yeah, so register and join us. And the planning committee has already sent out information to those who are interested in playing a role. There is room, everyone to play a role through testimonials. How has it been, your experience with ASFI during the last 5 years? Perhaps you didn't join us from the beginning. Maybe they join us second year or the third year or the fourth year or even the last 6 months. How has been your experience? Yeah, we'll be happy that you share that with us. So please find the link if you want to participate in that. Register your interest, and I think the committee will come back to you later on. And they have also scheduled interview with me. Okay. And they said some questions come up that perhaps are not asked during the programs like this or during our courses. They would like to ask, and well, I have given them the freedom. You can ask anything you want to ask. Okay, you can ask anything, and of course, I have the freedom also to respond to as many questions I would like to respond. But yeah, the room is open. Are there questions that are bothering you about ASFI, about other things about this movement? Please take the opportunity to ask your question. And then, of course, to make the event more fun, the committee has requested, is there any role you can play? Can you sing? Can you dance? Can you tell a story? Can you play any role? Poetry? Yeah, the room is open. In that form, you will find where you can indicate your interest in. So the goal is to encourage everyone to take part. Okay, so this is our journey this year. And for those who have been following us, you will notice that the direction we have taken this year in our seminar series is different from what we have had in previous years. So this year, we wanted to make it more practical, okay? So that it is not just you coming to listen, ask questions, and everyone goes, but you can also benefit from this. You can also derive a product from this as well. So that is why this year, since we're focusing on collaboration that leads to impact, we introduce the collaborative research groups. And we have 12 groups we have formed. And what we have done is assign people as they show interest to join a group. And when you join that group, you work in your group, collaborate, and then develop a product you can showcase at the end of the year to say our collaboration resulted in this. All right, our collaboration resulted in this. All right. So in the collaborative research groups, we give you a free hand. We don't interfere with that because we want to see how the groups develop. We want you to experience the challenges that can come from establishing, nurturing a collaborative research group, then using that to work on a project. So it is up to you. But we give you room to understand that having a fruitful collaboration, in particular, a multidisciplinary collaboration as you have, it's not a trivial project. It's not a trivial journey. It takes lots of energy, but it calls for intention. It calls for intention. It invites you to reflect on it. It invites you to face the challenges and make it successful. So there are different stages that we have talked about using the Tuckman team development model, that a group start from one stage to a stage where they become a performing group. Most groups eventually fall out, they get disorganized. But today we are talking about the fruits of research collaboration. And for those groups that eventually steady ship to productivity, there are joys that come from and benefits that come from research group. So these are the objectives of the collaborative research group. The goal is to build practical experience of multidisciplinary collaborative research over the course of 12 months. All right. So we are focusing on this year. We see how it goes. We see how it goes and see whether we extend it beyond this year. And of course, the goal is not that at the end of this year, each group just dissolves. No. Even if we don't come in, our goal is that the groups can capitalize on what we have set up this year to continuously make progress going forward. All right. But we'll come back to that to let you know. And that is why we have set up the surveys. I've set up the surveys to be able to evaluate what is happening in the groups. And that is why we try to persuade you to take part in that evaluation, because that will give us, and for your group, we're able to see how each group has developed. We're able to figure out what can be the key challenges, areas you need to work upon going forward. So please take what is happening in your group seriously and take the surveys we are sending out seriously. In fact, I will come back to that. The next phase of the survey, the second round of it, starts actually today. But I will come back to that. I will send you more information to let you know with the link. You fill in the question. So the objectives is to learn and practice how to build a collaborative research group. Learn and practice how to develop a multidisciplinary research topic, learn and practice how to grow and nurture collaborative research group, develop skills to identify and deal with challenges and opportunities in a collaborative research group. Learn and practice how to troubleshoot and solve problems that arise in your research group, and learn how to take your research collaboration beyond the frontiers of academia to build collaboration with industry, government, and other sectors. Okay. So these are the objectives. Perhaps not all of them may be feasible this year, but we'll come back later on to tell you what we are also planning next year towards this. Okay, so yeah, I have presented this multiple times during this 6 months to highlight what collaboration is all about as a process that brings two or more people together to work together to complete a task or achieve a goal. The UK Research and Innovation says that it is an effective way to ensure research impact, provide an opportunity for academics to engage with others affected by and interested in the proposed research. It's an effective way to ensure research impact. Okay. So today we are looking at fruits, and one of those have been mentioned here, fruits of research collaboration. So I was speaking about the top man team development framework. And so his proposal is that a group or a team, and in our case, research group, goes through different phases or different stages of development. All right. And their ability to be fruitful depends on how they have intentionally navigate through these stages. How they have intentionally navigated through these stages. Start from the forming stage, then it goes to the storming stage, it goes to the norming stage, and performing stage. Often, many groups don't go to the adjoining stage, where they break up. Okay, so this is 4 stages. But one thing that he emphasized, and that is clear from the experience we have generated, even in forming research groups or in other teams, is that the storming stage is very, very crucial. During this stage, says teams discover teamwork is more difficult than expected. And I know that some of the collaborative research groups we have are experiencing this. You are seeing it. Now, if a group goes through this stage, then it begins to normalize, okay? Begins to normalize and begins to function. The norming state is when the team begins to function as a team. Before then, you are still in the process of realizing yourself, understanding yourself, figuring things out, thinking, and we align. So many groups die out here in the storming stage. Many groups die out. So the storming state is a critical stage. But you need to be clear of the fact that what happens at this stage is normal. With that understanding, when you begin to see signs of disunity, signs of disintegration, signs of people trying to give up, signs of people thinking that, well, we can't work together, it is not negative. The negative part is actually how you handle it. So with every group or every team that we build, this phenomenon will come. But when you have passed that stage, now accepted yourself, accepted each other, then you discover that you begin to build a team, begin to build a team, begin to build a team. All right, so I have mentioned this several times, just to reemphasize it. Okay, so yeah, we present some things for you, and that's what I will talk about quickly. And then I will send you out to the breakout sessions so that you can continue your group work. And today I will inform you because we are having we are having the second survey starting today. You can also have the opportunity when you go to your breakout session to complete the survey. And the survey we are completing starting from today reflects what has happened in your group during the months of May and June. What has happened in your group during the month of May and so after my brief talk, I'm going to send it to your breakout session. So please, I hope that by now everyone knows their collaborative research groups. So it will be good if you can put your group number on your name so that when you're sent to the breakout sessions, it will be easy for us. Okay, it will be easy for us to allocate you. All right, so put your group, your collaborative research group to your name. At the end of your name, just put it there. Sometimes some of you write it on the chat box. Yes, we may see that later on when we start, we have sent it, but we prefer if you can put it at the end of your name. So if you just edit your name and add your group number to your name, that would be great. All right. So the sixth edition today is about the fruits of research collaboration. The fruits of I am not what I suppose is it agriculturist or I'm not working in the area of agriculture, botany or those areas. But I have had very good experience of farming. I grew up farming. And so I went through the process of planting crops. And in my experience also growing in my home in Nigeria where I come from, in my compound we have lots of fruits. So and I believe that every one of us, some of us are what is something that is it Ajebenta or is the Yoruba book called those who were raised with what is it called? Who were raised with golden spoon in their mouth. So they have no experience. I remember when I was in my university, I attended my university in Nigeria, and they usually have, I think it was once a month or so, they have they call it community service. Community service where they they um they put us in groups to go and do certain things around the university. Some people go to the farm, some people go and clean up certain things. So, it's just like making us, take part in what is happening around the university. And I remember one of those times we went to the farm and we went to cultivate cassava. Okay, cassava. And I remember some of the students there, cassava is, um, they call it different names when it's made for eating. Um, Different names in Nigeria and some other places. And people eat it, okay? And so I saw some of the students. Is it how cassava looks? These are adults. Okay? All right. So I think their experience is limited if they have not seen how this is done, produced, grow. And that can actually affect your appreciation of the fruit that comes. So some people may think that yeah, you just a twinkle of an eye, then you have the gari or wedu or whatsoever, then you make it. No, there's a process it goes through before it is edible, before you can eat it. All right. So fruits are important. Okay, they're important, and I was just looking for how it is defined. Sorry for those who are expert in agriculture and botany. I try to use very simple, streetwise definition so that everyone can understand. But I know that when you define it in your own technical terminology, you begin to add those biological processes. But simply, a fruit is defined as the edible, sweet, or sometimes sour, fleshy part of a plant that we eat. We eat. You got it? We eat. Some of us have allergies to some fruits. I've seen people who have allergy to water. Okay. So not everybody eats every fruit due to allergies. But yeah, they are nice. Okay. They are good. I love them. And I believe that you also love them yourself. You also love. They are very wonderful. Okay, but that is not the whole story of fruits. All right, that is not the whole story of fruit. Fruit can also refer to other things. Like here, he said it can also refer to the outcome of an effort or action. For instance, we talk about fruits of their labor. So when you put in an action, a consequence manifests. And that can also be referred to. Because you may be wondering, talk about fruits collaboration, research collaboration. Fruits are agricultural terms, botanic terms to describe, yeah, these things we eat. But they can also refer to other things that result from the actions we take. So they may not necessarily be positive. Some of the consequences of actions may not necessarily be positive. All right? But they are still fruits. Mm-hmm. The natural fruits we have, as the definition I had before, we said they can be sweet or sometimes sour. Okay? May not necessarily be positive, but it's still a fruit. And that is why it is important to weigh our actions. It's important to weigh our actions, because when the fruits of our actions begin to manifest, they may be surprisingly difficult for us to deal with. And then begin to say, why? Why me? Why this? Why that? But it's actually the result of the left. It's actually a result of the action you have taken. All right? It's actually a result of the action you're taking. Well, and for those of us who went to basic physics class, one of the first law when we studied motion, one of the first laws we we um, we were introduced in physics was the Newton's. It says Newton's third law of motion. Okay, if you remember, where he says that for every action, okay, there is an equal opposite reaction. My goodness. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So it means there's no escaping. There's no escaping. There's no escaping. Please, I don't want to take your mind away from. We're talking about research collaboration. So what happens? Whether you are in the forming stage or the storming stage or the numbing stage or the performing stage depends on the action, the decision, the group or the team takes. Because for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. All right. One thing you have to know is that perhaps those who are not as good as me in agriculture, well, how do I tell that? Maybe I'm even the worst. Okay, but this is the fact that for you to have that fruit, it goes through at least 4 processes or 4 stages. 4 processes or 4 stages. And this tallies with, looking at it critically, what Tuckman was developing his framework. Stages of team development. Stages of team development. He said forming, storming, numbing, and then performing. So for the fruits to come, you have to go through soil preparation. Oh my goodness. And I tell you, in my where I live here now, I have my small garden there. I have my flowers. And the winter comes, if you, well, many of us who have not experienced what happens here, you will not really appreciate when the winter comes in this northern hemisphere. Everything, and I mean everything, dies. Well, not totally dead, but the grasses cannot grow during the winter. the leaves on the trees will fall. The flowers are dead, literally dead. And the snows cover everywhere. And you are strangling in the area I live. It's not that as cold as when you go to the north. Sometimes you are to -20, -10, and then you come to around 0 during the winter. It down goes around that. But when the winter goes out and the spring comes, then you need to begin to prepare those things that are dead to resurrect them. You need to put your soil in order. You need to arrange them. You need to prepare them. And then once you have done that, you begin to see the wonders of nature. That's why it's called spring. Spring is spring of water. And the water begins to run there. And then they begin to wonder, this is, you are dead. They begin to resurrect. So for you have to prepare the soil to put in the seeds or export the plants that have grown a bit and then put it there. Start preparing the soil. You do the planting. And it grows. And you don't just let it grow like that. A time comes when you're contending. I have a plum tree in my backyard here. And I'm starting my vacation tomorrow. So I have planned what I'll be doing. Listen, this week now. I will go. This year, my plum tree has lots of fruits. My goodness. The branches are so heavy. Tomorrow, I'm going to. You see, the tending is like when the woman goes to the beauty salon to do makeup. You make it look good so that the tree feels nice. The tree feels that somebody owns it, and that can make it happy. All right, and then the last part is many of us are so much interested in the harvesting to eat it, but colleagues, there's a process that you take to come to that. There's a process. That process is very crucial. And these processes, if they are not well handled, your fruit, the fruit yield will be not so good. Not so good. So you need to prepare your soil properly. In fact, you need to find the right soil, actually. It's not every soil. Some fruits can grow in a place like this, in this part of the world. Some suit the tropical regions, and so on. So if you take a fruit that primarily grows in the tropical region. I remember when I was studying many years ago, I was in Oslo, and this Norwegian couple invited me to their home with a friend of mine. They just came back from, I think they went to Kenya. They went to Kenya, and they said they got they came with apple seeds or so, and they put it in their house. Yeah, and they said they are trying to nurture it a bit before they take it. We're asking them, do you think this will grow here? They don't know. They just want to try it. So you may take something that has no relevance where you are. You put it, it will grow. Okay. But here I'm just trying to highlight to you that before you begin to harvest and see the fruits, there are processes that are involved. And these processes are not just to see with the eyes. They can be tedious. They can require certain skills. They can require certain wisdom. They can require some trial and error, mistakes that come with them. But with time, we improve. I need to be, they require some attitude as well, patience, persistence. Why I'm presenting this is even in research collaboration. This happen. And there are some factors that affect this system we're talking about. Climate, and I've mentioned, if you take some fruit to certain climate, they may not yield, they will not grow because the climate may be harsh for them or may not be optimal for them. And things are also changing in our world today. The climate change that also affecting production. I've talked about the soil type as well that can affect the fruits. Water availability is also an issue. And then pests and diseases that can affect the production. You have to deal with these things for you to have a good yield. You have to deal with them. Okay, so if you come to collaboration, fruits of collaboration, outcomes and benefits that arise from working together with others. Those are the fruits. And then you can see this pyramid. This pyramid, Peter and Madeline have proposed the dimension or stages of collaborative work. Producing is on top here. But before producing, they highlight first connectivity. Connect and strengthen the relationship. Connect and strengthen. You see, many people fail because once they announce we want to collaborate, what they are thinking is this. They're just thinking about this. They're just thinking about this. We have been talking about using the building framework to talk about the building our career. A solid foundation is necessary because that is where other things stand upon. Connectivity. And then you move to alignment. You move to learning and sharing experience. Learning together before you begin to produce. Otherwise, you fall apart. And so for your collaborative research group, you need to understand where you are, what is happening. Are you connected? Have you aligned? Have you been able to learn, share experiences together? It is when you have done this that you begin to produce. Or to say, consistently produce. And this is when you have passed the stunning stage. Consistently produce. So in essence, for our collaboration, there are benefits and outcomes that come. But those benefits and outcomes are dependent. Just a minute. The slide I missed here, I want to share with you before I come to this. Just a minute. Okay. Yeah. So those benefits and outcomes are dependent on working together. The fruit of research collaboration is conditional on working together. And this working together reflects what happens in the base and the ones on top. What happens here is dependent on what is happening here. And so you can't overlook what is happening here. You can't. Sharing, support, trust, teamwork, inspiration, understanding. Otherwise, it doesn't last, can create some problems. All right. And when we talk about fruits here or producing, most people think about publishing papers. Publishing papers. But do you know that if your collaborative group is strengthened, that itself is a fruit, is a fruit, that result. It's beyond publishing paper. So there are other ones here, enhance creativity and innovation. When we collaboration, where we bring diverse perspectives, ideas, and skills, this can foster creativity and help us to develop new approaches to breakthroughs. Enhance quality of work. It creates opportunity through peer review, feedback system, criticisms will lead to refinement of our work and then enhance the quality of the work we done when just an individual would have done it. Okay? Great sense of community. It fosters shared purpose, together and togetherness and sense of belonging, creating a stronger community feeling. Access to diverse expertise and resources. I tell you, this is very, very important. Collaboration gives you that opportunity. Learning and development. It creates opportunities to learn from each other, acquire new skills, expand our knowledge base, and enhance personal and professional growth. Collaboration gives you that. Enhance problem solving and decision making. Yes, when we put our knowledge and skills and resources together, we can be more effective in our solutions, in our problem solving, and in our decision making. And eventually, increase productivity. This is where many people think mostly about. But you can see productivity is one of, there are other things that can be thought about here. But here I provided you with 8. Productivity, which many people define as publishing paper or getting funding, or just one of those that you can get from collaboration. And then, of course, increase impact and reach. Collaboration enhances your impact base. It increases the chance for you to reach different contexts more intense than an individual would have accomplished. That is what collaboration brings to you. But there are also challenges to deriving those fruits. Communication barriers, Communication barriers. When within the group, it is often that you have different communication styles, languages that people use, which can hinder effective exchange of ideas and information. You have coordination issues, very individual schedules, different time zones can lead to difficulties in planning and executing. Yeah, these are challenges. Differing goals and priorities. Individuals within the group may have different interests, may have different objectives, may have some set interests, different expectations, which sometimes can lead to friction and misalignment of purpose for the group. Unequal contribution and recognition. Ensuring that all group members are adequately acknowledged for their contributions and that this is done fairly so that everyone receives the credit that is due to them. This can be challenging, but when it is done properly, it can enhance morale and increase motivation. But it's an area of challenge. Cultural and institutional differences. There are different cultures, work practices, and of course, institutional regulations and rules that can create challenges for alignment of expectations, and fostering a productive collaborative environment. Leadership and management. Yes, effective leadership and clear management structures are essential for a collaboration group. And then maintaining momentum. Keeping all members engaged and motivated can be challenging. These are common challenges. It doesn't mean destructive. There are challenges that can be overcome. In your collaborative research group, I don't know what is happening to you. I don't know what areas, maybe in communication, maybe in coordination, maybe in differing goals, maybe cultural leadership, but you have to understand that these are called common challenges that can affect the fruits collaboration. The success of any group or team is its ability to understand these challenges. Somebody's annotating this place. Can you stop annotating? All right. Let me see if I can copy the result. Okay. So the success of a team or group depends on its understanding and ability to deal with these things. Once you handle it, you begin to experience different. Yvonne and Richard said, the most important ingredient in making collaborations work is commitment. If you want to experience abundant fruits, you want to experience a thriving collaboration, then every member needs to be committed. It's not a magic. It's not something that is built out of the blue skies. It's something that is realistic. You see it. So anyway, the basic things um, I would have I have for you this evening before I send you to your breakout sessions, to make you aware of the challenges that may come your way, but to also highlight to you that there are various fruits that come from the collaboration, benefit, important outcomes that we can all derive from, but they are conditional on the fact that you are working together properly. There's a process before you begin to receive the fruits. There are these stages. You need to apply different skills and wisdom before getting to the fruit. And the ability to get to the fruit, enjoy the fruit, it's dependent on your ability to handle those processes properly. All right, thank you. I would send you out to your breakout sessions as you take note of this fact we have discussed now. I'll give 45 minutes. If you want to use 5 minutes to fill the questionnaire, that would be great. But I have to remind you, please and please, we have done our best to prepare the IDs, and everybody who is in a group has an ID, what we call the CRG ID. Some of you on the column in that questionnaire that request for ID, you just put something else. That makes life difficult for us. Please don't do that. If you don't know your ID, reach out to us. I don't know my ID. I've forgotten my ID. Don't just put something. Don't just put anything there. It makes life difficult. This is a very, very serious thing. We have told you we are going to evaluate this thing. And the IDs are important to be able to map out individual trajectories, individual group members' trajectories. So please use the ID. If you don't know, don't fill it until you get the ID from us. So please, when you put it also, write the ID the way we have written it. Sometimes I wonder what happens to those who are in the academy, who are teachers and professors that have students, and when the students do, then they will deal with them. We also do the same thing. My goodness, I'm just wondering. Write the ID the way we have written it. Use the ID. And when we say CRG ID, some of you go and use your ASFI membership ID. Some, I don't know whether it's their national ID they are using, their country place. Let's use the CRG ID. We have sent it to you. If you don't know it, if your group has not received it, well, I think we'll send it again. So Ajibula the Mind will send it again to all the groups. But if you have yours, you know what it is, and you want to take 5 minutes to fill the form, please fill it again. Fill the form. The form, as I mentioned earlier, refers to what has happened in your collaborative research group during the months of May and June. The months of May and June. All right? So, and I hope that you have been able to put your group number to your name. If you have done that, it will be quite easy for us to send you to your breakout session. If you have not done that, then trust me, it's difficult for us. So I open the group now, and I will invite you back in 45 minutes, right? Thank you. And if you need anything, any question, just invite us to your group. Have a good discussion. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I hope you have had some time to catch up as a group. And then you are making progress with your project. So please, it is good that, and I know some groups are doing that, but it's good that all groups will continue to find time to meet together. There is no competition at all. Move at your pace. Be intentional about it. Plan and execute your program, your projects. And it is important that you also complete the questionnaire we have put so that we can understand how things are moving. I mentioned earlier that that you should ensure that you use your CRG ID. I can see at least one person that has filled it has used something else. I mentioned it earlier. Somebody who has filled it now has used something else. The questionnaire is actually relevant. If you are joining any group today, we advise that you don't fill the questionnaire because you have not been part of the experience in May and June, which is the experience of the group where we are making assessment of. So if you have not been part of the experience, you have not been part of the group in up to now, you just join now. So please don't fill the questionnaire because you will not have anything to tell about the experience of the group during the months of May and June. So please just take note of that. We will still put this information to all the groups today or tomorrow, so that the groups will get it. Okay, I see a hand. Abdul Hamidu, have your hand up, please. Yeah, let's hear from you what you have.
Thank you, Prof, for the mentoring. My issue is that at a certain point in time, we are three in the group. And then later on, I could always be seen only me in the group. Although we have choose a topic. Yeah, today. We have choose a topic. I've been trying to get to them, but without success. I don't know. So I just need your advice. Do I go ahead and start doing something, or do I wait for them?
Perhaps your group members had network issues if you're three. But apart from the meeting today, have you been meeting before now in any way?
We even we tried to meet. We've divided our tasks among ourselves, and but when we arranged to meet at in the platform of the ASFI meet, nobody applied because I was the one that was assigned to coordinate it. So then since around June 13 or so, we have not been able to
met.
Yes.
Okay, I think you have the Excel sheet of your group members. Perhaps you can send email to everyone to remind them that your project is still expected to move on. And then you people can start again. One thing is this, and I have to let you know, this is one of the things that can happen. A group may come and they look like they are dead, but you can revitalize it again. You can encourage people again. You can push people again. Let's start. We can make it. We can move on, and then people can come up again. So, because sometimes you may, well, this group is not working, let me join another group. That is not the solution, really. And as I've said, challenges are always there when you are forming a group and developing a group like this. And the expectation is that you can navigate through those challenges and become a group that is productive again. So you can take different ways to reach out to the group members and encourage them to come up again so that you can move on.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. And that goes to other groups. If you're facing similar thing, please take advantage of that. All right. We today, this month is the last we are going to go through the fundamentals. And as we promised you, from July going forward, we are bringing people who have developed some experiences in terms of research to tell us their perspective. And so we have lined up until October. November is our conference. So we hold it now until October. And then we'll come back to let you know what happens perhaps in November and in December. But in July, we're having Prof. Willie from the University of Fort Hare in South Africa. He'll be speaking and reflecting on his experience from the perspective of Pan-African research collaboration. And then in August, I have my colleague from my university here, Dr. Lena Bergman. She has a very strong collaboration in South Africa, Stellenbosch University in South Africa. And so she's actually moving from here to South Africa very regularly. So I invited her to give us an experience what it means to collaborate from the North-South perspective. So she'll be speaking in August. And I think this is a familiar face because recently his pictures circulated on ASFI platform, and I invited his interested Dr. Mahmoud Maina, interested to come on board to share his experience. I've been based in the UK for some time, and then he just got this Wellcome Trust Career Development Award that enables him to set up a stem cell biobank in Yobe State in Nigeria. So he will be coming up to tell us about his journey in these processes. And then in October, we have our sister, our mother, our mentor, Professor Olubukola Babalola. She has been a very regular face on our programs. She'll be coming in October to give us our own lessons learned. She collaborates with different universities across the world. She's renowned. So I've talked to her. Can you come and tell us what are the pain and gain in undertaking and being like you, what you have achieved? And she's happy to come in October to tell us her story. So please do not miss any of these opportunities. If you have been with us from January until now, I think this is a time to solidify the process we have started. And so, take advantage of that. Invite others. Don't miss any of this because these lessons, I think, will help to shaping what we are doing. And then you can see it also from the perspective of others. Just to remind you, please, I encourage you, don't waste time. Just take the form and fill it. Join us. This program, don't be told of what happened because you will not be happy to hear it from others. All right? So register and join us. And if you want to take part in any of those programs I have described, please, do so. Do so. Testimonials, interview, in the social part. Okay. Our career talks continue in this month, July. 25th of July is coming. No, not this month. This month is not over. Next month. Okay. So we are looking at the sheltering and protecting your career. What that means. So I invite you, please, to come and join us. The data analysis course, if you have not registered, is an opportunity. We will be handling 3 programs, 3 software in this course. Okay. So the deadline is on the 12th of July. And then the grant writing, grant research funding and grant writing, many people struggle with trying to get money for their research. And that is a struggle we all have. But I believe that if you come, you will learn the skills that can help you to navigate through this process. We have had several testimonials of people who have come through this program, mentored, and they have succeeded. Some getting several grants as possible after this program. And ASFI Research Journal, please, if you have your papers, bring it on and submit here. And if you're not an ASFI member, if you want to join, yes, just to remind you, please take advantage of that. All right. Thank you, colleagues, for this evening, for coming to this 6th edition of the seminar series this year. And I wish you a very wonderful week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Hello,
Prof.
Thank you.
Hello, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.
Yes, please.
Hello, Prof. How can we get our CRG ID number for some of us that are just joining?
Just reach out to, I hope Dr. Jibola has put her phone number on this thing.
Okay.
Just reach out to her as soon as possible. It will be assigned to you if you don't have any.
All right.
If you don't get it, it means that you don't reach out to her, because we will give you. So if you don't get it, it's your fault, not our fault.
It's all right, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you.
Thank you.